Welcome to another episode of Beyond Sunday, where we keep it real with faith and life, because as you all know, life be lifing. And as usual, you do it with myself, Julian Luke. However, Pastor Thomas is not here today. He said he's tired of doing the podcast. I'm joking. I'm absolutely joking. But we do have a special guest today. So I would like to go ahead and introduce y'all to Miss Lakeisha Brown.
Hello.
Yeah, I gave full name.
I saw.
Yeah.
I heard. Yeah. I didn't know if you was gonna go Keisha or what, but yeah, that's cool.
I went with government. So
okay.
I mean, if you throw the middle name in there, we can get the full thing.
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No problem. All right. So today, actually, we are going behind the scenes. We are talking about the things that go on in preparation for Sunday, but we're also going to talk about the awesomeness of our pastors and, what it's like to be able to communicate with them, work with them, and then some of their amazing quirks. Did I say quirks? Did I say quartz? Anyway, quirks that they have that we truly, truly enjoy. All right. So let's really talk about it. So first of all, what is your title here?
I am your marketing / special events coordinator here at RFBC.
Oh, I thought another slash was coming.
No, it's just two. I mean, it's just one. Okay. So, yeah.
All right.
But yeah, that's what I am.
So for those of you all who are watching that are not a part of the RFBC family, and or you are a part of the RFBC family and you see me all the time, my actual role is production manager or slash, I'll give the slash, AVL lead. So that's actually what I do. So we'll get into the nitty gritty of what we do in preparation. And so let's go ahead and just do this now. Let's paint the picture of what prep looks like for a Sunday morning. So what do you have? So let's talk about your Mondays. So we are technically on Monday through Thursday. Mm-hmm. So what does your Monday through Thursday look like?
Whew. So the week in preparation for Sunday, it's a lot that goes into it because it never stops. So pretty much it's getting ready for that coming Sunday, but also anything in between. So we have like different events that our ministries put on, but I'm also prepping for whatever needs to happen that Sunday. So one of the things is we do live announcements. That's under my field. And thankfully I have a team under me that I can rotate, and sometimes I have to do it, but they also do it as well. But I have to make their script for them. And so with the script, the way I build the script up is what has happened at RPC and what's upcoming. And so I have to look at the calendar and see what's coming up. And then I have to reach out to different ministries if they had an event. Hey, did y'all take pictures? Do you have video or something? And so we can, put it in the live announcements that Sunday. And so just wrapping that all in to make that script happen, it's a lot in itself. But then we have the social side. And so I'm like knocking on your door or texting you, like, hey man, where's the sermon clip?
Literally, that's the
no, I don't.
Amen. Amen. That's
dramatic. No.
You've done it before. Multiple times.
It was one time.
Multiple.
One time.
Okay.
A couple. Okay. But pretty much I have things I have to post weekly on socials, whether it's Tuesday is Takeaway Tuesday, which is our sermon clips. Mm-hmm. And then we have Wednesday, which is Wisdom Wednesday. And then Thursday is the Beyond Sunday podcast.
Thursdays.
So that is every week. But then if it's an event that we need to promote or something, I'll have to add in those visuals or videos on socials as well. Also maintaining comments and whatnot and interacting with our audience on that. So socials is like all the time. Yeah. But so script, socials, and then any event that I have to put together or help out with, that's other things that pop up. And I'm pretty sure I'm missing like so much more. But a lot happens before Sunday gets here again, pretty much.
I'm gonna be honest, that's a lot.
It is, and I know I'm missing a lot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you are missing.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I do, and I know, I mean, this is kind of later. Well, I'll talk about it later because I don't want to skip steps here. So I guess I go through what a typical week for me is. So a typical week for me is on Sunday nights after church. I take my nap. You got to take the after church nap. And for me, it's usually sleep. It's not a nap. I'm sleep. I'm out. But Monday mornings, I try to segment my weeks for specific things. So Monday mornings or Mondays for me I need to make sure that I'm switching over certain things as it relates to our sermon notes and those things. And then the titles that we're specifically using, because on Sunday we have a generic title that goes out to our YouTube spaces and Facebook spaces. And so I want to make sure all of those things are turned around and flipped around. And that's what's happening usually on Mondays. And then also I'm getting clips, editing clips, preparing for all the things you're going to knock my door down and ask me about. So when we're talking about the Wisdom Wednesdays and the sermon clips and all of those things, and a lot goes into that because I'm not just taking them and getting them and then sending them to you. I'm getting them. I'm making sure the audio is balanced. I'm making sure that they're good cuts. I'm making sure that the lighting is correct. I'm making sure that the color balance is correct. And so all of those things kind of are taking place usually on my Mondays. Then on my Tuesdays, because we have our meetings that day. See, that was one of the things that you missed. But because we have our meetings that day, Tuesdays are usually the days when I go back, I'll listen to the Sunday, and then I'll try to make as many edits from an audio perspective as I possibly can. Yeah. So from an audio engineer thought process, I have, and for those audio engineers out there, understand I have like certain scenes saved for certain things. And so I'll go into those scenes, I'll listen back, I'll try to make edits, and I'm making edits to the front of house as well as our live stream. And so usually on my Tuesdays, that's usually what I'm doing, trying to make certain edits in audio, trying to make certain camera edits and things like that, working on possible lighting and stuff like that, things that we can change. So on Tuesdays, if I have a brand new idea that I want to try on lighting, that's usually when I switch any lighting up on that day. And so that's what a Tuesday looks like. My Wednesdays are a little different because any extra things that I have to do that are specific to computers. So, and I did miss a step, but I ain't gonna go back and talk about it. I did miss something. But anything that is specific to graphics or computers. So, if I need to do the graphics for the YouTube thumbnails, if I need to finish editing something. So usually on a Thursday, like when we do our Beyond Sunday podcast, I'm usually editing on Wednesdays to make sure that it's prepared for Thursdays. But sometimes I don't get it finished on Thursdays because these things are difficult to edit. I'm letting you guys know. These things, even I'm talking right now, and I know I got to edit it, it's difficult. So usually that's what's happening on Wednesdays is anything that I need to do that is computer based. So on Thursdays on Thursdays, what's happening is I'm coming in and I'm making sure that all of the lighting scenes are prepped for the rest of my team. So that means that every song that we sing during worship has a specific lighting scene. And so I want to make sure that every lighting scene is prepared so that when my team comes in, all they have to do is turn on the console and know the music and know the songs and then activate those particular scenes. Then I also need to, also on Thursdays is when I make sure that Pro Presenter is correct from top to bottom. So when we do live announcements, I'm looking at all the things that she sent me for live announcements. I know this is going on long, but I need to make it real. I'm making it real so y'all can really understand, because for those people who see me on Sundays and y'all just see me walking through, you don't know what my week been like. But so on Thursdays, I'm usually making sure everything on Pro Presenter is correct. correct. So for live announcements, I got to make sure every asset is in there. For worship, I got to make sure all the backgrounds are in there. I got to make sure the words are correct. All of those things. And then generally that takes most of my Thursday until we have rehearsal that night. And so then I'm at rehearsal that night, and yeah, then we have rehearsal. So then I got to make sure my team is prepped when they come in. So Pro Presenter has to be right. Audio boards have to be right. Lighting has to be right. And then I also have to make sure that, you know, the band has everything that they need and the singers have everything that they need. And then if there's any hiccups, I'm available that Thursday night to make sure that everything goes decent, at least.
I am wore out just listening to all of that. But as she was saying everything,
I'm pretty sure they got wore out too.
I was like, oh, I forgot I do that. I do this and do this. So yeah. I'm not going to bore y'all with all the things, but just know.
I bored you.
Just know it's a lot. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I skipped some steps too, but it's part of the job. It's what we do, right? Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the unseen parts of the role, right? So, what are and if you've had some, what are some of the tough conversations that you probably had in your role?
Oh, tough conversations. Like from anybody or?
Yeah.
Man, give me grace.
Really? That's a tough conversation?
Maybe. I think I try to stick to a schedule pretty well. Of course, things happen, but I feel sometimes if it's whatever I'm supposed to do, if it doesn't happen, then it's like, oh, where's it? She just forgot. No, it's on my long to-do list that I have on the board. I promise you I haven't forgot, but please, like, give me grace on it, you know, just, it's coming, okay? But tough conversations, I don't know. Maybe don't say certain things during live announcements that you would say to like your best friend. But at the same time, I tell them to, you know, be themselves and, you know, get the information out there, but don't be robotic. Just for sure. But I feel like I don't have a lot of tough conversations. It's more guiding than anything. So I feel like avoid those.
Yeah. I mean, I've had some tough conversations. And I know for me, it's more or less because, you know me, but they probably don't know. But my background, I have a degree in music. So I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in music. And so, what?
Oh, you just listing them.
I didn't keep going.
Okay.
I could run the resume.
Oh, goodness.
I could run the resume, but I'm not doing it.
Okay.
But so, you know, it's difficult sometimes in the position that I sit in because I sit in it from a visual side now and obviously from an audio side. And so having some of the conversations with the band that may be like, hey, this may not work. We may need to go a different route, or we may do something. We may need to do something else, or we may need to add this, or we may need to take away. Some of those are tough because I know as a musician, you don't want to be told that you're doing something wrong. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because in your brain, in your mind, you like, hey man, this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? And so I think, and I don't know, I think that may be a musician's ego. But I mean, I know that's hard for me because I know what it means to be a musician and stand in that space. And then also with my team, you know, when I bring my team on, I tell them, I give them grace. Like, I'm always going to give you grace because of the fact that I understand that things happen. On a Sunday, you may hit a lighting scene and all the lights go out. You know what I'm saying? and it happens, right? Mm-hmm. But I give you grace. But I think some of the times for me, those tough conversations are, hey, this happened. I understand, but now we got to do this to make it better. And I don't ever want my team to feel like I'm trying to scold them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so to me, that feels like, you know, one of those kind of tough conversation situations.
So I'm like, it's not really tough conversations to me. It's really just guiding them. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, what about this? Because I know you can't come at me sideways. I'm sorry.
I can.
No. Not even you. So
I've never tried it.
Just pretty much, how would I feel if I had someone come up to me? How would I want them to come up to me? So I try to keep that in my head too.
Right.
Yeah.
So long nights. Have you had any long nights doing?
Oh my goodness, y'all. So before we went to live announcements, we used to do a monthly video.
Oh yeah.
And so
Oh yeah.
this is where everything that's happening that month that's like important. Well, everything's important. Let me not say that. But needs to be in the video happens in that 1 month video. And so I had to make the visuals because you can't talk about something and not have a visual for it. I had to record it. I had to reach out to the different ministry leaders like, hey, you want to record for your event? So I had to set time for them to record. And then that night, pretty much before, I forgot what I used to do. I forgot.
It's been a while. So
because you edit.
Yeah, I edit.
But I had to make sure I had it recorded and then all the visuals ready for you to go.
And then you had to send the list in the order in which it went in.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the night before, I'm literally, before I send it to him, just up making these visuals for it. Finding the time to record because goodness when. And then I just feel like I'm missing something that I also did for it, but wee hours, because one thing we didn't mention, this is just church work. We got whole families at home, okay? Yeah. So it's not
equal amounts of families.
Yeah. I have a husband and 4 kids.
Yes.
He has a wife and 4 kids. Yes. So going home and like, oh, let me just work on this a little bit. No, they have to be down. And usually I have a night owl of a daughter. She's always the last one to go down, and it can be 11 o'clock sometimes. So if I finally get her down, then I log on to do this work. Yeah, I had a 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock morning before trying to get that done. But thankfully, we moved to live announcements weekly, and I can each week, prepare for that upcoming Sunday. And so it has been way better. Don't get me wrong. I still have a few late nights. Just depends on like last minute stuff that pop in or whatnot. But for the most part, nothing like that.
Yeah, I don't think late night has been that extreme.
No.
In a while, but I do know that I still have late nights every now and then.
Yeah.
I mean, editing is really the thing that takes a lot of the time, right? So like if if I'm editing a Beyond Sunday, that takes time. Or when we have our not deeper conversation. What's it called? Not deep. What's the one? The one we do.
What?
The prayer joint. The prayer. The prayer.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Outpour. There we go.
Oh, outpour.
I had to think about the commercial in my brain before.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But when we're doing the outpour, that can take time. And then like, because I'm in charge of so many systems, if something goes wrong, if audio goes out, I gotta fix it. It was one time, it was actually recently when I took the boards to get service, and then I brought them back, but then the IPs were wrong and I couldn't figure out how to change the IPs. So I was up here, I think till about maybe 8 or 9 o'clock, I think it was. And then I had to come back the next morning to try to fix it because it still wasn't right. And I was like, yeah. So late nights, absolutely. Yeah. Now, what I will say, and I have to make this very plain and very open to the public, I work with her every day. That has probably been one of the most enjoyable parts of it, because we bounce off each other. We share great ideas. We can laugh about stuff.
Yeah.
But we still get what we need to get done.
We get it done.
Yep. I think I've grown a little bit more gray hair in this process. But no, it's, but I will say that there are moments where we can just sit and have fun.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are not sitting here complaining. And then sometimes, sometimes the late nights are self-inflicted too, because I remember from school, if I had a project and it's like, oh, I can work on that now, but something else comes up, or I do something else. And then it's like dire need, hey, this is happening. This need to get done. And I'm like, okay. And that's when I'm in like my best mode too, 'cause I'm just like focus. I hate that I do that though.
I'm about to say that sounds like a you thing.
It is a me thing.
I be trying to get it done, but I can't. So, and I think that'd be the problem, right? Like, and I think that's one of the fun things about having the opportunity to work with you is the fact that in the moments of when we're trying to get stuff done, because we have similar situations in our home life, we can have those conversations in the midst of. Yeah. So we were like, yeah, I was trying to work on this, but man, that kid did this. And then all of a sudden, and then everything changes. And then we get into a huge conversation. But I think the other fun part about it is, so like, on our campus, right? So we have 2 buildings.
Oh my gosh.
I'm lonely over here, right? Because I be lonely.
You're in the boonies.
Obviously my office is the sanctuary. It's the main sanctuary. And so I'm the only one who works over here. While on the other side of the building, that's where all the offices
are. It's for the party.
Right. So, that's where she is. And then, a couple other people who work here. And so what I like is the fact that on any given Sunday, not Sunday, but, I like that terminology, but any given day, I can get up and just walk over there and be like, hey, what you doing? All right. And then I'll just sit down and we'll not only converse about the things that need to happen, we'll also throw some other stuff in there as we're watching the Game Show Network. Or she'll text me and be like, hey, I'm on the way over, like she did today, but I didn't get it until she was already over. So
yeah. The fact you brought a Game Show Network, how dare you? For you that don't know, I have the TV on. I have to have some kind of noise going on when I work. I think that's after I became a parent, because there's usually noise going on all the time.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I gotta have noise when I sleep.
When you sleep?
Yeah. Like I have
you sleep with the TV on? I used to, but my husband, no.
Yeah.
He like, cut that thing off. Yeah, you going to bed.
My wife tries.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't work for me. I can't do it. I struggle.
Man. Yeah. But yeah, I guess I'm used to the noise that happens. So I have the TV on, Game Show Network, and I almost got the rotation of the shows now. But yeah, it's really, it's really good. It's cool. So yeah. Okay,
so so would you say that, and you have a team, and I think that's beautiful. I think it's awesome. So would you feel like, or do you feel like what you're doing as a leader in your role is really making an impact?
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't even been in this position a year yet. And sometimes I do go in my head like, oh, is this even worth it and whatnot? But I'll have people come up to me during Sunday, or they'll send me a text and it's like, oh my gosh, the live announcements were so cute today. You and your hubby, y'all need to do it more often. Or, oh, thanks for getting this information about our event. We already got all the spots filled. So thank you for putting that information out there. Or, oh, I have people come up to me just verifying that, hey, we see you. We are thankful for what you do. I forgot your question now.
Do you feel like you're making an impact?
I do. I really do. I know I blinked. I went down like this road and I was just like, where was I? Hold on. Yeah, I do. I think having a new person come in and kind of bounce ideas off of whether it's you or our other staff members and whatnot. And then I also take advice or ideas from my team. They're like, hey, can we do this video, or can I record this? Yeah, come on. Because I can't do it by myself. I can't. Man, it's rough. I would go crazy if I tried to. So I think just the way things been going with how live announcements didn't change, visuals, I try to make them interesting within staying in the branding guidelines. Say, just bringing something different to the church. But at the end of the day, why I do it is because of God, you know? And so me using my gift, because that's truly what it is at the end of the day, because it's just where I came from. I don't want to jump, because I think you're going to bring that up later. But I come from the corporate world. I was a financial analyst. And I always had this like artistic side of me that I just been burying down over the years, because in reality, that don't really make money. So financial analyst, yeah, hey, if I can do it and make some money, cool. Let's make it happen. But it was really taking me away from my family a lot, and I was very stressed out. And I used to volunteer a lot before I became in this role. And when the opportunity came up, I was like, oh, yeah. So it's been very, very fulfilling. And just to see the changes, whether they're small, you might not even notice them on Sunday or throughout the week. That's the thing. It can be very tiny what I do. But just to see the impact or to get feedback from people, yeah, I think I do.
Yeah. So this is going to be a confessional for me. I was about to sing Ursher, but no, I'm not going to do that. No, so when I first started in this position, I really didn't feel like I was making an impact. You know, the person who was in this position prior to me, one of the things that they told me when I first started was, we are the only area that is going to be scrutinized in real time, because everything that we do and the actions that we perform all happen in real time, right? So if we put up the wrong lyrics, people going to look at you. If the audio goes bad, people going to look at you. If the video is wrong, if the you know, anything. And so when I started in this position, you know, I really didn't feel like I was making an impact. And as we talk about backgrounds, yes, I have 2 degrees in music. My first degree actually is an emphasis in media. So I studied media when I was an undergrad, and I've been a DJ since I was 16. So I knew about audio, I knew about video, all of that. So I wanted to, when I first got to the church, I wanted to use those gifts. And so when I started, I was like, man, I don't really think I'm doing anything, because everybody got a complaint. Like it was always something. Somebody was saying something. Somebody was saying something. But I think what ended up happening for me is prayer and realizing the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, and with that placed other people inside of, you know, my circle of kind of lifelines that I could reach out to. And so a lot of people started pouring into me and saying, you know, that were in positions that I'm in and so on and so on and so forth. And they were like, listen, you're doing the gift that God gave you, and you're in that position for a reason. You're not going to please everybody.
Yeah.
And when I looked at it from that lens, it changed my perception of how I approached everything. Not to mention that, you know, and I prayed for it for a long time, because for a while in this position I'm in, it was only like 4 or 5 of us as a team. That was it, you know. And so I prayed for more team members. And so, you know, God blessed me with more team members. And so I feel like I'm also making an impact because I try to pour into them as much as I possibly can. And I think that, going back to the fun part, we have fun together. It's funny, like if anybody out there who's never been to this church, never visited and want to visit, or you are a part of the church, one thing you will definitely see is after 9 o'clock service, we all hanging out. Like we are just all chilling, just talking, catching up, having a good time. And literally after 11 o'clock service, sometimes we will be here till like 12. Just talking and just having a good time. Like we have group chats where we go hang out, so on and so forth. So, you know, I really...
Or Chili's.
We need to make another chili.
I know it's been a while. It's been soccer season. So,
That's right.
Yeah,
right.
and volleyball. Yeah,
and baseball.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about our children.
Yeah.
But we've definitely built a team there, and I feel like that impact also has been made. So I want to now get into something else when we start talking about impact. So we work closely with our pastors. What has that been like, and how has that been for you working closely with pastors?
My goodness, y'all. If you told me in my future life I would be on a random day get a TikTok from my pastor. But that is my reality. I'm working at the church, and I work with not only our pastor, but the other pastors. And honestly, they're real people. They are truly real people. They are working men. They just don't do church or pastoring or whatnot. They actually have real jobs out there, from teachers to counselors.
Yeah.
I forget, engineer. Yeah.
Wait, who's an engineer?
Vern.
He's an engineer?
Yes.
I never knew he was an engineer. Why do we have to? We have a church full of engineers.
We really do.
Like literally, this is if you're an engineer, this is the church for you. Just letting you know. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Engineer, teacher,
Counselor, finance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're pretty stacked.
Yeah.
But to watch them be examples, because I know when I used to work and just volunteer here, it was a lot. Because, of course, work came first, because that was like the majority of my bills at the time. But to see them actually balance it and then still be on their spiritual journey has been, oh, okay, yeah, I can do this and whatnot. But working with them is fun. They're all good people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to get back to this ticker talker thing here. Because PT swears that I messed up his algorithm.
He did.
I'm gonna make this public. I did not mess up his algorithm, but it is funny because the random TikToks definitely are hilarious. But I think I'm with you. I would have never thought that I would have had that kind of relationship with my pastor. And I'm gonna be honest. I was not a person who wanted to talk to Pastor Thomas when I first got here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was.
I didn't know I could. Just from like,
thought he had like bodyguards. And
it's like the how I grew up in church. Like I saw my pastor on a Sunday, and that's about it. It wasn't no outside see him anywhere else other than church. You know, my grandparents, my granddad was a deacon, my grandma was a mother, so. Random thing, my grandparents had me each year. We had this calendar from the city, and it was huge. And at the top, I had to write everybody's phone number on them every year. And one of the top people on there was Reverend Houseworth.
Pastor.
That was our old pastor. And I think they would have phone calls every once in a while, but I mean, it wasn't like, oh, let's meet up or something like that. It was really just strictly church. So
yeah, I mean,
I didn't think I could talk.
I think I get what you're saying, because the relationship outside of the church, like, because I've always known, like when I was coming up, it was always my parents or my mother and like my aunts and uncle always wanted to make sure they went to a church where they could get to their pastor, and so that was a normal thing. But I get what you're saying, specifically outside of the church, just like on some churchy.
Yeah, anything. I did a 5K with him,
which I still haven't done yet.
You should.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I know we got one coming up. Is that a 5K? It's a run. It's a walk or is it a run?
The breast cancer walk?
Yeah.
Either.
Okay.
But I think most people walk.
He gonna run, ain't he?
I don't know.
I can see him running.
He might.
We talking about you while you're not here. I'm just letting you know.
He might, yeah.
But no, I definitely agree, because, you know, we really almost can talk about anything in those chats. Like, there are some religious TikToks that we do send, but then there have been some other TikToks that we've had deeper conversations on. That's not a plug for something we used to do here, by the way. But But I've also been able to have conversations, biblical conversations about certain things that go on, in life. And we can, I give my perspective. He'll definitely give me a different perspective, so I find it really interesting to be able to have those conversations with him and be able to, talk with him like that, because of the fact that, again, I thought he was standoffish when I got here and I was afraid to talk to him. And so now, I've realized he's just a regular guy. And I think that's the same with every single pastor. Because remember, I have to get sermons from the pastor. We have a specific time where sermons are supposed to come in. They don't always come in on time. But I think one of the greatest things is that I can communicate and converse with them, and they can let me know. They be like, "Hey, Julian, my bad. I had this going on," and obviously, again, grace is a real thing. And sometimes I can joke with him about it. Like this past Sunday, Reverend Davis, and his computer, something happened with his computer and it crashed and it shut down. He emailed me and he told me, and I was like, I mean, that's fine. Ain't no big deal. Just get it in when you can. But I'm gonna need for you to put that in your sermon. And sure enough, this past Sunday, he put it in his sermon. So, I think the relationship with the pastors, I think, is great. And like Keisha said, like you said, it's like they're just normal people. And I think that sometimes we tend to, especially old school, we tend to forget that, right? We put our pastors on this like super high pedestal and we can't touch them. No. And, that's one of the things that I've enjoyed about, working here and just honestly being at the church. This church in general is the fact that, we get to see pastors just being cool, just chill. I think me and Reverend Lusk, we can joke around every time, he's here, because he'll talk about when we might come up every Sunday. He was like, "Hey man, you got to put it on this fat face this week." And I'm like, "Dude, your face is fine. We will be fine." And we just joke about it. So, no, I think the relationship here with the pastors are great, and I enjoy, working with them. Now, one thing I will also add to that, and this leads to, in my opinion, not only the church, but also to the pastors. I feel like my spiritual connection became stronger when I got to the church. I was a little wayward. I wasn't 100% holy. I'll stop reading the Bible, and I'm just, hey, I got to keep it real. I got to let the people know. But coming to this church, being involved here at this church, but also listening to the teachings of Pastor Thomas. And at the time when I got here, I saw a lot of Pastor Vestal, and he's a historian. Yeah, like he gonna give you the backstory of the backstory of the backstory of why something happened in the present, and then link it all the way back to the word. And I like that. And so for me, it really drew me closer to God and, the Bible, and wanting to find out more and really wanting to deep dive into it. But I will say this, working here is a little different. So what is your spiritual habits? How has your ministry been since you've been working here?
I'll be honest. I was like you when I started going here. I feel like we had our foot in everything, especially with my husband. He couldn't say no at first, but I was a youth leader at one point, so I had to learn the lessons to be able to tell them, the kids, like what's in the Bible, and then just participate in different things that we had around the church. And then, the sermons from everyone was just good, and they're very relatable. And I feel like I tell pastors sometimes, like, get out my driveway, because you know how he just be like, "Oh, you're on my street." No, he be in my driveway, walking up to the door, knocking. That's how like connected and relatable I feel with a lot of the sermons here. Now that I'm working here, I'll be honest, my spiritual growth has kind of plateaued. And it's nothing against anything here. It's just if I have a Sunday where I can sit in service, my body is there, my mind is not there. Because at this point, I'm looking like, they didn't change some words on time. Oh, that's the wrong visual. Oh, I spelled that word wrong in that visual. How did I spell graduation wrong? I need to go back to school.
Don't be trying to cover it up. She was really, because all of her problems be about stuff that my team be doing. That's what it is.
That too. They brought out that podium too early.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know we're going to talk about bloopers, but that one time with the podium.
Yeah, because I'm the one who edits these, I'm probably going to put that in there so you can see exactly what we're talking about.
Oh my goodness. But my mind is thinking about everything else but what's happening in that room. I'm not present anymore. And so it's now I need to, this is like real time, figure out what works for me now that I work here. Whether it's, do I need to look at another church Sunday, because I can rewatch our live streams, but I rewatch them for our meeting where we have to go back and talk about what happened Sunday. And so I'm not even present rewatching it because I'm looking at, that could have been better. That could have been better. I'm like analyzing everything. And then of course, life. I'm either working, I got my kiddos, it's soccer season. I can have every excuse in the book to where when I sit down, instead of having my own devotion and whatnot, I'm like, I can just sit down and I can take this moment. So it's just like a personal journey that I'm currently working on now, just trying to figure out how to get out this plateau and really get back into my own spiritual growth. Because I feel like in certain things or certain thoughts I have, I feel like because I haven't been, fine tuning or deep diving in the word myself, I'm kind of separating myself from, which is crazy because I work at a church, Yeah. So,
I mean, you would expect that, right?
Yeah.
But I think, I've had, conversations. Again, I have people I can reach out to who are in similar, roles that I'm in, and just get advice and guidance from them. And one of the things that I've understood is that because it's the job, it's very easy and it's very possible and likely for you to be more focused on the job than it is the ministry or the worship, right? And so because I've even found myself doing that, on a Sunday, one of two things can be happening on a Sunday. On a Sunday, I could be serving in an area if, one of my team is missing or whatever, or they just weren't able to serve that Sunday. Or I could be running production and like queuing and making sure things are okay and walking around the building. So there are days when I'm not even in the room for the sermon. And if I'm in the room, I'm adjusting something.
Yep.
There are a few times where I can say, I've been fed a little bit, but usually that's during worship. It's not necessarily during the sermon itself because I'm usually moving around the building. It's very rare that I'm just sitting and like really taking it in.
Yeah.
I can definitely say that because I've listened to Pastor, and I've found ways to be able to go get fed in other ways, in other spaces. Mainly because, one of the things that, PT has talked about is making time for God, right? And then one of the things that I know that I've read in Ezekiel is, talking about idols and not putting other idols in your heart before God. And so, I make it a purpose for me. So now everybody gonna know my morning routine. At 5:20, I wake up every morning, and that's when I do my own personal devotion. And then my cousin, he kind of linked me to this men's Bible study that happens every morning at 5:00. And so Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, I'm doing the morning Bible study, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm doing my own study and my own prayer. And that's kind of where I just get fed from. Other than that, like when I'm on a Sunday, you know, I'm on the mode. I'm making sure that everything is correct, and you know,
5 o'clock. Oh,
yeah. I listen.
I am not a morning person.
She's not.
Even on Sunday, I am not awake until about 10 o'clock. So if you see me on live announcements or something like that, or just walking around, or even singing on stage, hey, I'll be my full self by 10 o'clock that day, okay?
That is. I mean, but she's really not a morning. I mean, let's be real. I'm not necessarily a morning person either. Them 5:20 wake ups ain't easy. They're not easy. Let me be very clear.
Deep sleep.
It's been a few times when I've woken up and I've seen that thing go off, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not gonna make it. But there are some times where I feel convicted because I'm like, Julian, this is your time for God, and you rather put sleep before God. So then I'll be like, all right, let me get up. So like this morning was difficult because I was like, if this thing go off at 5:20, I can roll over. I can give me another 5:25, I'll be good. But then I was like, all right, let me go ahead and tap into the Bible study. So once the Bible study started, then I was like, all right, let me get up. So then I got into it. But yeah, it's not easy. I ain't gonna say it's easy. And I know that sometimes I also will watch other services and sermons like that also to get fed. And that has nothing to do with our pastors here, but very similar to you. If I'm watching it, I'm looking at everything and I'm nitpicking. I'm like, man, this audio could have been better here, or this lighting could have been different, or maybe I need to.
What's that echo?
Yeah, I'm. So you just gonna bring up the echo?
Sorry.
You just gonna bring up the echo?
We had the echo last.
We gonna bring up the echo. We just calling out. We calling out the faults. I didn't say nothing about the green on your.
Oh my goodness! We see our stomachs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See. Now we can call each other out.
Hey, I said I misspelled graduation.
When did you do? I missed
on the graduation thing. I forgot how I spelled it, but that was no graduation. I needed to go back to school.
Oh wow! No, I mean I done did it a couple times because on the LED screens inside the sanctuary. When different pastors preach, I put their names up. And one time I didn't spell reverend right. So I think I put REVREND.
Oh, I forgot that.
Reverend. Yeah. Instead of reverend. Yeah. And so this is the hardest part about my job. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I get 38 texts about one thing.
Oh yeah.
Like not gonna say every Sunday. If one thing goes wrong, there are multiple people who are telling me, and all yeah. Cause so like here we got our outside speakers. Right. So if the outside speakers ain't on, I'll get a text from Pastor Thomas. I'll get 4 people who will come in and tell me literally to my face, the outside speakers ain't on. And the funny thing is, I have a team of techs who are walking around to solve those problems, but they'll still bring it to me.
I'll go to you.
They'll still bring it to me. Mm-hmm. And sometimes if I'm serving an actual area, like if I'm on the audio board or if I'm on lights or if I'm doing something, I can't do anything about it. That's why I have those people there, but they'll still come. No, hey, where's Julian? Mm-hmm. Where's Julian? I'm like, all right, all right. So yeah, but I'll get about 38 texts about one thing. So yeah, that's part of the job too.
Yeah.
I blame you.
I just think, no. See, when I approach you about anything, I'm like, I'm pretty sure you know. But just in case you don't, the sound is not on. Okay, I know. Okay. The TV is not on. Yeah, I got 40 messages. I think it probably was like one time you actually didn't know something that I brought up. But
she does start out her conversations like that. So that's very true.
I do.
But yeah, most of the time, if you come to me, not you specifically, but most of the time when like person number 15 comes to me, I'm well aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, it happens, I guess. It's one of the things. All right. So sometimes it's easy to get caught up in doing church instead of being with God. But one thing that you've learned during this process.
Ooh. I can't serve unless God is in my heart. And that's why I'm in that conflicting stage, because I guess I feel the decline. Not that I'm not turning away from, like I'm turning away from being a Christian or nothing like that.
She's trying to leave. Get out.
I'm done. No, it's the fact that my time is not given to him as much as it needs to. And so I feel like if I'm a person in the church, I need to be deeply in the word to be able to not minister to people, but just to be an example. I don't want to be, oh, this is just my job. So what I do outside of here, it doesn't matter. Like, I want to be the same person across the board. Like, oh, that is a Christian woman. I see her walk, and then it flows through her work, because technically that's just what naturally happens. So if I feel myself declining in that aspect, then I feel like my heart is not in the right place to keep doing what I'm doing here. So I did it again. I forgot the initial question.
Lord.
I'm just saying.
One thing that you've learned.
One thing I learned.
Keep it simple. You ain't learned nothing. That's terrible.
I have learned a lot.
You
That is a very broad question. Like, I have learned a lot. I have learned a lot about marketing and whatnot.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'll give mine. One thing that I have learned while being in this position is that in life, you can't take stuff personal, and you can't wear it on your sleeve.
Yeah.
Because I think in anything that you do, specifically in something that you love to do, and then you find enjoyment in, and the fact that you're doing it for a purpose other than yourself, you hold it close and you take it personal. And when it's scrutinized, it's almost like it's a personal attack. And so that's really one thing that I've learned is you can't take it personal.
That's a good one. I thought of one.
Good.
Everybody is not you. So I probably have dealt with this my whole life, but it's very apparent here. The level of expectation I have for myself, other people may not have that same expectation for themselves. And so a lot of times I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to do it myself because I know it's going to get done right. It's going to be up to my standards, blah, blah, blah. Go down the list rather than, okay, here, you do this. I trust you. And yeah, it's going to work. It's going to happen. Me loosening my reins on some things has been, not a hard lesson to learn, but it's very tough for me. Whether it's an event that's happening, it's like, oh, Keisha, what do you need us to do? Okay, you do this. And then if it falls flat, I'm just like, see, if I would have just did everything would be running smoothly. But what if it didn't run smoothly? Then I'll be blamed. The only person I can blame is myself at that point. But I'd rather blame myself than blame someone else. So just, it was this crazy word. But
as an educator, but those are teachable moments.
They are.
Right? So like if you have somebody and you give it to them,
right,
and you expect for them to carry it out, and it goes a different way than what you would have expected, don't put the blame on you. See it as a moment of where you can educate.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I just get teachified or something?
You did.
Oh, God.
You did. That's definitely a teachable moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think that goes to that grace part too. But then that also takes pressure off of yourself.
It does.
You know,
I've come a long way with that.
Yeah.
But I am a person who's like, oh yeah, I do this all myself.
Yeah. And you don't need that.
No. I would go crazy.
With as much that goes on in the job, you don't need to take any more pressure on that you don't have to take on. So use those as teachable moments.
Yeah, because I didn't like team projects.
You didn't? I mean, who likes team projects in school?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I was about to say something, but you had
that person
who don't want to do nothing.
Right.
Yeah. No. I couldn't stand them. I couldn't stand them.
I'm like, no, I'm just gonna do your part.
But that's not the same because you're an adult now. You're grown.
Is it? It happens in the corporate world too.
I've never been in corporate. It
happens.
I've been an educator, so I don't know what corporate life is like. So, I got a couple more here. So, first things first, because you did bring this up. What are some funny moments that have happened in the position?
Oh my goodness! Do you want me to tell that story?
I mean, you can tell the story.
Okay, y'all. So we have transitions that happen on Sunday, and one of the transitions is when the choir is finished singing. The pastor who's preaching comes out, and AV Tech will come out with whether it's a table, the podium, they bring it out. We have tried many transitions, okay?
That work for us.
Yes.
Yes.
This one was where I think he brought it out before. Yeah, he would bring out the item before the choir walks off stage. So when the pastor comes up, it will already be there. Well, apparently he brought it out, but it wasn't in the middle of the stage. It was to the right, and so he didn't know. So he went off stage like, yeah, podium's up there. Our worship leader noticed that the thing is not in the middle. So while he's singing on the mic, he's pulling the podium back to the center. Okay. I guess in y'all ears or whatnot on the walkie-talkie, they've been saying, hey, the podium is not in the middle. The podium's not in the middle. So he didn't recognize that our worship leader moved it to the middle. We're good. So he comes back out on stage and moves the podium back to the right side.
No, he moved it to the left side.
Oh, yeah, he moved it to the left side because he's like, I went too far to the right. So he pulled it to the left side and goes off stage. So now the podium's not in the middle again. So here our worship leader, like, he just looks. And so he's dragging the podium back to the middle once again. Man, y'all. Hilarious. I was dying. And so what's funnier is he came out after that, like during the sermon. He was like, y'all see me in the podium? I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, I messed up.
Hey, I watched it all in real time.
So funny.
Because you weren't in the room that day.
I was on the outside.
Yeah, I was in the room. I watched it in real time because I'm the one who was signaling him. I was like, I'm telling him, I'm like, hey, the podium's in the wrong place. Podium's in the wrong place. And so I see the worship leader move it. So I'm thinking he's backstage and he's watched him move it. So he's good because he hasn't responded to me on the headset until he walks out and he moves it. And I'm like, what are we doing? So, oh my gosh.
Classic.
That was one, I think probably the funniest.
Yeah.
I mean, because we've had little small things like this past week. I'm in the back and unfortunately we have one AV tech working this week, but I'm signaling for the pastor to go on the stage and I'm just in the back. I'm signaling. AV Tech can't see. He's not even up there because he's trying to do something else somewhere else. And I'm signaling like this. And the pastor, he's playing double dutch. I'm trying to figure out, is he supposed to go? So, yeah. So, I mean, I've had multiple things that have happened that have been hilarious.
Like last week. I was talking about the singles ministry game night.
Oh.
And I was like, yes, and there will be snakes in game. I'm sorry. So,
there'll be snakes on the plane.
Snacks. They would have snacks. And I think I was like, Lord have mercy.
You were.
And singles, your next game night is also October 18th at 6 p.m. It will be great time with snacks, and not snakes, Lord have mercy. and games. Be sure to sign up.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been some
transitions are fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we finally got it like
we got it down to a science.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got it now.
But the journey, man.
It's been rough. But see, that's the beauty of trial and error.
It is.
I love trial and error. I am a person who and you know, and a lot of people who work with me know. Hey, let's try it. Because if it fails, we can use that as the springboard to say, all right, what didn't work, versus saying we just can't. So I'd rather try and let's see if it works.
I just thought of another one.
Uh-oh.
When we were doing live announcements in this room, and so we would be this way, and you see the audience, like people walking by to the service. That was like the whole point of it, right? One of our members, I love him to death, but he literally stopped.
I was actually mad at him.
And looked in the window like, and started making faces and whatnot.
It's funny now.
He didn't know it was live. He thought we was just recording or something like that. But the audience was
cracking up.
Man, of course we couldn't hear in this room, so we had no clue. No clue.
They couldn't see him back there.
No.
Now I'm in the sanctuary and I'm watching. You got to remember what my position is, my title. I'm overproduction. So for me, I'm like, he's ruining the shot. This isn't funny. So I was about to walk out, and then by the time I was about to leave the sanctuary, he was already gone. So I'm telling you, that day I was upset.
You were.
But now I can look back at it and just laugh. But on that day, I was feeling the type of way. But but I will tell you, that actually was one of the things that in my brain spearheaded us doing the live announcements inside the sanctuary.
In the sanctuary.
Because they in the sanctuary, they were cracking up so hard.
No idea.
And I just believe that interaction with, the sanctuary and the live, I think is a beautiful amalgamation of like energy.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the things that actually spearheaded us. See, now y'all know where my brain goes sometimes. So, all right. Second to the last one. What are some things about your pastors, not pastor, pastors that are memorable to you, whether they're different sayings, whether things are quirks that they have?
Okay. You want to just start with one?
We can go whichever way.
Go down the list.
I mean, our list may not be in the same order.
What's your order?
It don't matter.
Okay.
Whoever you go with, I just throw another one out after that.
Pastor Brandon.
Okay.
Vestal. He is, like you said, a historian.
Yes.
I couldn't stand history in school. I'm sorry to tell you. I failed at Mississippi State, that one class and whatnot. Even though, I got my degree from Jackson State. Okay. DLF out there.
Oh my
gosh. He really does take you down a history.
He does.
Like walk. And it's digestible. Okay. Because you start talking about the past, I'm like, hey, man. But which is crazy because the Bible is nothing but the past. So yeah, that's weird. But no, his knowledge and the way he ties it all in, that's really cool. But I also like when he does his white guy voice. Hey, buddy, what are we doing here? Like it's because he's a white guy, so him going.
That's why I was like, wait a minute.
That's why it's funny. It's funny
because on average he doesn't talk like that.
No,
so when he does it, it's just kind of like
it's like buddy. It's like yeah. I laugh at it because sometimes I sit by his wife and she's like, "Oh, he trips me out when he does that voice." So it really is fun. It's funny.
So I'm not going to bring up both of them. I'm only going to bring up him and then go to the next person. But one of the things about him and PT is that they're sneakerheads.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I've never been around pastors like that who are like that. Mm-hmm. And so to see
usually they want like a Cadillac.
Right.
Yeah.
He came, man, I was micing him up one time and he had on some Jordans and I was like, yo, Where you get those from? And I'm not a sneaker person by any stretch of the imagination.
Nah, I go for comfort.
If they on my feet and they're comfortable, I'm good. I don't care where it comes. Well, technically, I care where it comes from now. But I mean, like as long as they comfortable, we good. But he had on a pair when Pastor Brandon came back, and I was like, yo, where you get those from? And he started telling me, and I'm sitting up there like, dude. Who shops there? Like, that's not a normal spot to get shoes from.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
That is true.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
And he's a doctor. He went to school, man.
He is. And he's an educator.
And an educator,
yes.
man. Woo.
Yeah. Pastor Lusk. I really like Pastor Lusk because he's so cool. Me and him can joke and just have a great time. But one of the things that I like to hear about him, specifically in his sermons, is when he talks about his past, because he talks about his racing experience and like he used to be a car person, like that was his thing. And it's great to be able to hear about like the past of your pastor, right? Because like you want to know that they've gone through adversity and things like that. Because when you look at pastors, the idea is that they ain't never been through nothing. It's just they grew up and
I've
they
been
just
sanctified my whole life. Yes.
But when you hear that story or when you hear those stories, I think for me it just helps to connect to the fact that he's just a real person like everybody else. But outside of that, though, like me and him having conversations, he's talked to me about like certain things like education, like his idea of possibly getting into education. He's talked to me about some audio things because he's told me some things about him and his experience in audio. So it's really cool. Like me and Lusk are real cool.
That's cool. Yeah, he's a cool guy. I didn't know until just like one of the things we push our pastors to do with these transitions is to interact with like what's going on in the room. And so, when he gets on stage, and sometimes I remember one Sunday, Tyler was doing a solo, and he came out there. He was like, "Oh, why y'all stop? Come back up here, Tyler!" Yep. And like they just was like joking. I was like, "That is so funny," but I love it. But that's the type of person he is, because even when he preaches, he'll have a joke in there. I'm like, "Hey, what's that, a joke?" He's funny. Like it's like kind of slick. But no, he's a good one for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Let me your turn. I know who did Lusk.
Oh no, you had your order.
No, I said you give me one, and I'ma just.
Okay, my bad. Okay,
see, this what happens.
Hey, this is mommy brain. Okay, mommy brain. Okay.
You're always using that excuse.
It's a real excuse.
My wife does the same thing.
Yeah, you have prego brain and mommy brain. Got them both.
I'm gonna have to look this up.
Okay.
Because if Google proves that that's not a true thing,
go to ChatGPT.
ChatGPT will get the information from either Google or WebMD.
Okay, let it.
And especially if you check WebMD, you dying. Like everything is
I have
death.
cancer. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Pastor Shiloh. That he's another one, has some little slick jokes.
Man, he'll throw a quick one out.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't catch it.
I know. And you run it back and you're like, hold on.
Yeah.
Was that a joke? And he'll have like a little smirk. I'm like, okay, Pastor Shiloh. But Pastor Shiloh, he's like, he remind me of my pastor back in the day, like that old school preacher, Baptist preacher. But I'll give him this. Hey, he gets to the point. He has his points, and he get to them. You got your word, and it's like, bye.
Yeah.
Hey, no sugarcoating, like none of that. He gives you the word, and that I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so one of the things about Pastor Shiloh is that's right about his points, but also because I look at his sermons, I will have to tell him like, man, I know you want to get through all this. Some of the stuff we can't make it into the sermon. Some of the stuff you just got to keep as a note, because he'll be direct, but he puts down everything that he wants to say.
Okay. Yeah.
Like literally everything that he wants to say. And so he's gotten better at it, which I think is great. But he's really, really thorough. And I do appreciate that, and I do like that about him, is that he's thorough. But I also know that from a visual aspect, we can't put it all on the screen. But another thing though is like he's very sharp. He's very sharp, and he got like 28 cars.
You so funny. Don't bring up the card.
We was messing with him yesterday. We was messing with him yesterday.
Yeah, but no, he comes from the accounting world too, so I understand that brain, being a fellow accountant person too. But I can just, the way his mind works, I'm like, I understand. Yeah. So you probably be like, man, you ain't got to put everything down. No, my whiteboard right now has every little thought that I need to think of this week.
Yes.
It just works, and then it's like a satisfaction because it's like, all right, mark that off. So maybe when he sees it, he knows like he's getting through each thing and not missing something as well. Yeah. So I get it.
Reverend Davis, and you actually pointed this out, and I recognized it before, but I really didn't recognize it until you pointed it out. When he preaches, he always does have something that is related to the culture now.
Yes.
He always does. Without fail, he will always have something that's related to the culture.
LeBron, your GOAT. MJ, your GOAT. Well, I don't tell you who my GOAT is. God. Yeah. Okay. Jesus. All right. That man.
Yeah. He always has one. And I think that's great because it not only makes it relatable to an older congregation, and I'm not saying we're an older congregation, I'm just saying in general. I mean, I ain't gonna tell everybody my age.
I mean,
but that's some stress. But it's relatable not only to the older congregation, but to the younger kids too, because they can connect those things to whatever it is that he's trying to say or whatever it is he's trying to preach. This last Sunday, one of his connections was he was talking about if you have a child and they're at a play and they do very well they do their play, and then but they feel like they made a mistake or something like that. But as a parent, you want to build them up and you want to bring them in, and so like
open arms, dude. That hit home because. Just to bring up soccer season again, Melanie, my middle daughter, she had a game, and I'm sorry, they got their butt kicked. Like, it was bad. But instead of being like, oh, good game, like all the other parents were, they did a little tunnel thing so they can run through. I didn't do the tunnel. She came off. I was just like, did you do your best? Huh? Where your aggressive bone and whatnot? And then he did that. I was just like... See, knocking on my door because the last thing, they already lost. So what's the benefit of me being on the sideline pulling her like, oh, good game. I didn't even say that. I was like, did you do your best?
You suck. No.
I didn't say that.
I know you ain't say that.
No, but I'm just like, I know you can do better than what you just did out there. It's like you gave up. So it made me rethink it. You know what? I probably could bring it up later on in the week or something, but like in that moment, she really needed me to open my arms and like, hey, good game, baby.
So maybe you are getting fed.
That was just from the clip, though.
Oh, never mind. I tried. You could have just said yes.
Yes.
There you go.
But it was from the clip because I had to post that sermon clip on the social. So maybe like in small pieces, yes. Yeah. But I don't know the rest of the sermon.
Wow. I don't either.
I didn't listen to it either. I haven't attempted to. Was I in the room?
No, you were not.
That's crazy. Okay, I'm sorry. We went down the whole thing.
You went down a rabbit hole.
If Pastor was here, he'd be like, so I'll have a whole therapy session up here.
Yeah, and I'd step out of the way because PT did some therapy sessions with me in here, and you just let me just crash and burn.
I'm on the other side of the camera, okay? I just be like, get him. Yep.
Y'all, man, I ain't gonna say nothing. Anyway, your turn.
Reverend Shapar.
Okay.
Hey, we have Sunday school at 9:00. Okay. Oh no, it's not even 9 anymore. It's 10.
It's 10.
We have it at 10:00. Hey man, he is a kister too. I like it. Because that's one thing that sticks out to me. It's like if he wants to make something known or get something out there, he's repetitive with it, but very intentional with it too. So people will be like, here we go about Sunday school again. But I'm just like, yes, you remember. Because, hey, what's your excuse for not going to Sunday school? You know, it's at 10:00 on Sunday. So, but I like his backstories as well. Like how he grew up. Man, he probably got way more than what we done heard, but just a few that he used to reference in his sermons, it's like, oh my goodness, some people go through some things. And to see him come on the other side, not only be a Christian, but actually preach the word, whew, hey, there's hope for everybody. So, yeah.
Two things always stand out for me about him. One, if you've ever noticed that anytime he prays, he always tells God he loves him.
We love you.
Every single time.
He does.
That is one thing that always stands out. And then the second thing is, as a person who works on the other side of, from the sermon aspect, whenever he preaches, there's always a song at the end. It's gonna be an old school joint.
He goes to the hymn book.
He's pulling it out.
Hey, he brought back some memories.
He's always bringing a song.
That's all we sung. We didn't sing the stuff on the radio. We sung out of the hymn book. So when he go down, I'm like, oh, I know that. And then I have Tyler beside me, like, I have never heard that song in my life. I was like,
oh yeah, he done brought up something I ain't never heard. Now you ask my wife, she know him.
Yeah,
but
that's
for
all
me,
he did was a hymn book.
Struggle bus. I don't be knowing.
You can't pull up the word sometime.
I know. I mean, because well, a lot of times he'll let us know about whatever song he's going to use, like the day of, or the day before. So if he does it the day of, that's where the struggle bus runs in.
Gotcha.
Because we ain't got too many hymnals sitting around here. So then we got to scour the internet. But
that is right.
But if he sends it like with his sermon, or if he sends it the day before, then he'll usually send the words for us. So that way we ain't got to search for it. But boy, that search.
That was a good one. Yeah. I got that. Yeah.
And then obviously, we got Pastor Thomas, and we didn't talk about Pastor Thomas enough. We don't,
I mean.
Now, what I will say is, from the time that because I'm in charge of like the archives of like some of the older sermons and stuff like that, he's been saying some of the same phrases for a long time.
Oh yeah.
But they still hit.
They do.
They still hit.
Now, all this furniture should be towed up.
All this furniture, y'all should be flipping over some furniture right now. Or I gotta hurry up and get you out of here because Costco still got them samples.
Oh, the samples, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If he'll describe a person and he was like, oh, if you don't know this person, then you just might be.
You very well may be.
Hey. That's a good one.
Yeah. He's always gonna throw one of those in there. And what's funny is what I've recognized, and I'm gonna call him out on this next time I see him, or when he sees this. He doesn't do it as much as he used to.
He doesn't. No.
He doesn't do it as much as he. Maybe
you know what he do?
That one.
That's how he do it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm terrible. Elton
does it really.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's really feeling it. He's like, I don't think y'all hear me. Yeah.
Yeah. But see, the thing is, too, I think because, we're in a new building, he don't want everybody to mess up the good furniture just yet. The old furniture, maybe, but
tear it up.
Yeah.
So, hey, please do not tear up the furniture.
Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that. Even though I really think he'd be serious on some of the flip the furniture over things.
I said we should just do it one Sunday,
do it one day
just to see how he reacts. Like, hey man, like that was good. Wow.
You asked for it. Like, you've been saying it for years. We finally did it.
He probably couldn't preach no more. He'd be done.
Speaking of which, that was another funny thing that happened.
What?
I'm sorry, we got to bring this up because I was ready to get ready to shut down, but I got to bring this up. So he was preaching a sermon about how we're more focused on things in the outside world than where we are on God. And then he said, some of y'all got some rings, some cameras that are set up at your house, and the rings that y'all have in front of y'all door. And literally right when he said that, somebody's ring went off, and he was like, see, I'm telling you, somebody's ring going off right now. Hey, and then in the, because it was not planned, and in the middle of that, he was like, see, I couldn't have planned that better myself.
Some of you right now can whip out your phone and look on your porch and see exactly what's going on. Before you left, you went doo-doo-doo-doo-doo and turned on the alarm when you left. What am I trying to say? See, somebody's right now, their ring is going off. I just heard it. Somebody's ring notification. Literally. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Conviction. I told you, stepping on toes, conviction will come. Conviction cometh. I couldn't have planned that if I wanted to.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was another one funny one that happened with him. But yeah, I think we went through all of them.
All the pastors?
Did we miss anybody?
I don't think so. It was 6. We went back and forth like 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when it comes to your job and when it comes to the church and all of those things, how does the other ministries impact you? Other ministries impact the job, so on and so forth?
Oh, man. So our other ministries are pretty much at its core volunteers. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
If we didn't have volunteers, a lot of this stuff wouldn't happen. Like, I would be doing the live announcements by myself, talking that whole time, and y'all would be sick of me.
Facts.
Singing, the choir, worship teams, your team on AV, you will be running left and right trying to get this camera, that camera, get the sound up, like... Yeah. And whatnot. The greeters, our first impressions, people open the door for you, say, hey, good morning, thanks for coming and whatnot. The prayer people that be in here in the welcome center to welcome you if you need someone to pray for you. It's just so many areas. Oh, I forgot the biggest one. The kids and students. They're volunteers, they're leaders. Oh my goodness. Without them, our kids would be in the sanctuary with us, and we probably have to leave because they acting up. So we couldn't do any of this without our volunteers here. Mm-hmm. And so I really try to dive into our ministry leaders. And it's like, hey, even in our chats, just say, hey, good morning. Just check in with people. Check in with the people under, like in the group, but also your volunteers under you as well. Just feed into them. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, that we need everybody to help. Otherwise, we will go steer crazy. Yeah. But making sure we pour into them and encourage them. Hey, you have gifts too. You can use them. Please use them. And we try to set up many ways that people can use their gifts. There's so many things you can do here. Yeah. In different churches, wherever you go. There's many things you can do. Small things. If you're good at YouTube and making shorts and different things, please hit me up, please. I need you. But seriously, I'm sorry, I had to put the little spiel out there.
I see you trying to sell yourself.
But if it's small like that, I have a bunch of young people that, they would love to edit videos and different things like that. So if that takes the pressure off of you, hey, why not?
You still ask me to do so.
Yeah, because I know you just like, boom.
See?
And I'm a little last minute sometimes. It just pop in my head like, can you get this real quick?
But you also know I'm going to do it a certain way.
True.
Yeah, I'm not going to hand you no mess.
Very true.
And even if it is mess, you'll be like, hey, man, this is a mess. But I don't think I've ever handed you any mess. Have I handed you some mess before?
Yeah.
When?
Some of the visuals, for the sermon. I'm like, hey, man, I'm looking at that man, but... That
wasn't any mess. It was just a bad picture.
I know. And
then I changed the picture and it was fine.
You did, but I feel comfortable enough with you to let you know, like, hey man, they ain't it. Or you're doing too much or something like that. I don't know. But no, I really try to pour into the leaders, which I expect my leaders to pour into their volunteers and their people. And then we all need to feed each other, you know?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yeah. You definitely hit the nail on the head when it comes to, all of the volunteers. I think one of the greatest things about the fact that we have so many volunteers is their why, right? Obviously there are some people who are in places where they feel like they have the talent or whatever, or they have the niche or whatever, but their why is always in service of God and, God's house and the ministry, so on and so forth, and giving reverence to him through their work and their actions. And I think wholeheartedly, I think that's one of the best things, right? Like, even on my team, we have the jack of all trades on our team who's in like 30 different ministries. He really ain't in 30 different ministries, but he's in a lot of different ministries. And I encourage that, right? Like, I encourage people in my ministry, and on my team to, if you want to go to different ministries, that's fine, and serve in different areas, and then we just try to adjust around it because, I'm not opposed to you using your talents and your gifts wherever you need to. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I think it's great. I think leaders continue to pour into your teams and your ministries, because I think as what we do here, what we do as a church, not just this church, every church, as leaders, we're in this assignment for a reason. God has led us here regardless of, what your situation is, your circumstance. God has led you here. And when it's time to move on from your situation or from this situation, it will be. Mm-hmm. But until then, God is using you in that role. And it's your job to be able to pour into the others that you have around you, the congregation, and so on and so forth. So, I think it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, I don't got nothing else. You got something?
You didn't say the main thing.
Well, we got to keep the main thing the main thing.
It is Pastor Appreciation Month. Okay? That's why we've been talking about Pastor so much, right?
Yes. I mean, I think that, this is a great time to be able to have the conversation and really just show how much we appreciate what happens here at RFBC and all of the pastors here.
Yeah, we love all of you. Like Reverend Sapar says, we love you.
We do.
Yeah.
That's usually what he says. We love you. We do. He adds the we do. I think this past week he didn't. But yes, for Pastor Appreciation Month, we are really trying to show and let you all know how awesome that you are to this RFBC family. And now the whole world who's watching around the world, who's watching this on YouTube, y'all know how much we love our pastors here at RFBC.
Mm-hmm. We do.
We do. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, outside of that, this has been great. I mean, what's funny is like right after this, we're going to have a full conversation about something else.
Right.
Probably about lunch.
And then for future Beyond Sundays, I'm getting back behind the camera.
Yeah.
But it's been fun on this side, y'all.
So we didn't talk about that. She usually is the person who's behind the scenes, who's making sure that all the devices are still going and the audio is good and all of that kind of stuff. So she will be back, and then PT will be back. Pastor Thomas will be back yelling at me or convicting me for something or something to that degree. Yeah. But outside of that, this has been fun, Keisha. It's been great having you. Remember, before I say that, remember, like, subscribe, and share this information out. We would really appreciate it. And also talk about it in the comment section. Talk about all the appreciation that you have for our pastors or your pastors. If you're watching this and you go to another church, we would love to see it, read it, hear it, and all of the things. Outside of that, don't forget, this is not just a Sunday talk. This is an everyday walk. We love y'all. We do. And we'll see you all next time.